Welcome to the Wellbeing Podcast, where every episode is a step towards a healthier, happier you. Let's grow, thrive, and shine together. Today we're doing a deep dive into a topic that I know a lot of us struggle with mornings. We're using the ebook, The Morning Ritual, as our guide, and I'm really excited to see what we can uncover.
It's fascinating how those first few hours can set the tone for the entire day. So many people just hit the ground running, reacting to whatever comes up, and that can create a sense of being overwhelmed right from the start.
It's like starting the day on the back foot, right?
Yeah.
But this ebook suggests that a solid morning ritual can actually boost our productivity, energy, and even our happiness. That sounds almost too good to be true.
Well, consider this. When you have a morning ritual, you've already accomplished something positive before the day's demands start piling up. It's a proactive approach, a way to set yourself up for success rather than constantly playing catch up.
So it's about creating that feeling of accomplishment early on, which then carries through the rest of the day. I can see how that would boost productivity. But how does that translate to increased energy and happiness?
Think about it. When we engage in activities that promote alertness, like exercise or even just some deep breathing, we're actively combating that morning grogginess. And on the happiness front, well-structured mornings give us a sense of control, reducing stress and creating space for self-care, even if it's just for a few minutes.
I get that. It's about building in those little moments of joy, of doing something just for you, which can then impact how you interact with others and how you approach challenges throughout the day.
Exactly. And what's really powerful is that a morning routine provides a framework for building healthy habits that extend beyond the morning itself.
That's a great point. It's not just about the morning, it's about creating a ripple effect of positive changes that impact our entire day and ultimately our overall well-being. So where do we start? The ebook suggests analyzing our current morning habits before trying to change anything.
Absolutely. It's about self-awareness. And the book recommends keeping a morning journal to track not only what you do, but also how you feel throughout the day in relation to your morning routine.
So we're taking a close look at our energy levels, mood focus, and seeing how those things are influenced by what did or didn't happen in those first few hours after waking up.
Precisely. You might be surprised by the patterns that emerge. For example, you may think of yourself as a night owl, but your journal might reveal that you're actually more productive and happier when you have a structured morning routine.
Okay, so we're keeping our morning journal being brutally honest with ourselves about how our mornings are actually going versus how we wish they were going. What's the next step?
Then we shift our focus from what we don't like to what we want our mornings to look and feel like. The ebook calls this defining your objective. What's the primary goal you want to achieve with a morning routine?
That's a great question. Are we aiming for more time, less stress, increased energy, a boost in creativity? There's so many possibilities, but I guess the key is to figure out what's most important to us right now.
Exactly. Prioritizing your goals can make the process feel less overwhelming and help you create a routine that's truly tailored to your needs.
And this is where things start to get exciting. We're taking stock of our current habits, figuring out what's working, what needs to change, and then brainstorming new activities that would make our mornings better.
That's the idea. The book suggests a wide range of activities, from exercise and reading to meditation and spending time outdoors. It's all about finding what resonates with you and what aligns with your objective. And remember, don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start by incorporating one new activity and master it before adding more.
That's a really important point. Small, sustainable changes are so much more likely to stick than trying to change everything at once. I know I'm definitely guilty of getting overambitious sometimes. But even with the best laid plans, life happens, right? What about those mornings where we oversleep or things just get crazy?
Flexibility is key. That's where we'll dive in next. Your ideal morning routine might need some adjustments depending on the type of morning you're facing. Let's look at two common scenarios: busy mornings and those glorious slow mornings.
Okay, let's tackle the chaos first. We all have those mornings when we hit the snooze button one too many times, or the kids are having a meltdown, or the dog ate your... Well, you get the picture. What are some strategies for navigating those hectic mornings?
It's tempting, yeah, to just abandon the routine altogether, when time is tight. But the ebook suggests that this can make busy mornings even more chaotic.
So instead of just like throwing in the towel, we should try to have like a streamlined version, I guess, of our routine that still kind of hits those key elements. How do we make that work?
Preparation is key. Doing as much as possible the night before can make a huge difference.
Like choosing your outfit, packing lunches, having your bag by the door, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It's about setting your future self up for success. And you can also, look for opportunities to kind of double task, like listening to a podcast or audiobook while you're commuting or practicing mindful eating.
Those are great tips. I'm already feeling less stressed just thinking about how much easier my mornings could be with a little more planning.
And here's a tip that might surprise you. The book emphasizes the importance of avoiding devices, especially first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I've heard that before, but I've always struggled with it because my phone is my alarm clock, and it's so easy to just get sucked into checking emails and social media.
I understand the struggle, but research shows that checking your phone first thing can actually increase stress and anxiety.
Really, I knew it was a time suck, but I didn't realize it could actually impact my mood and stress levels.
Think about it. You're waking up to a barrage of notifications, news headlines, work emails. It's like inviting chaos into your brain before you've even had a chance to fully wake up.
That's a really good point. It's like starting the day in a reactive mode instead of a proactive one.
Exactly. So the book suggests aiming for at least 1 hour of device-free time after waking up.
That sounds ideal, but honestly, a whole hour feels a bit daunting. What if you just can't swing a full hour?
Even small pockets of device-free time can be beneficial. Start with 15 minutes and gradually increase it as you feel more comfortable. Every little bit helps.
Okay, that feels much more manageable. But realistically, some of us rely on our phones for certain things in the morning, like, checking the weather or traffic.
Of course, and the book acknowledges that it's not about, demonizing technology altogether. It's about being mindful and intentional about how we use it.
So maybe it's about setting boundaries, like designating certain times for checking our phones and sticking to them.
Exactly. And there are features on most smartphones that can help with this, like setting time limits on specific apps or customizing your notifications so you're only alerted to urgent matters.
That's a great idea. I'm definitely going to look into those features. So we've talked about strategies for those busy mornings, but what about those leisurely mornings, like weekends or days off when we actually have time to savor those first few hours?
Ah, yes, those glorious, slow mornings. These are prime opportunities to focus on things we often neglect during busier days, things that nourish our mental health and relationships.
So it's less about productivity and more about rejuvenation.
Exactly. It's a chance to recharge, reconnect with yourself and those you care about.
I love that. So instead of rushing through a workout or meditation, we can take our time and really be present in the moment.
Yes. And you can even use technology selectively to support those goals, like using guided meditation apps or online yoga classes.
That makes sense. It's about using technology as a tool to enhance our well-being rather than letting it control our time and attention.
Precisely. Or you can use that time to connect with loved ones, enjoy a leisurely family breakfast, meet a friend for brunch, or simply savor the peace and quiet of the morning by watching the sunrise or indulging in a special breakfast. It's all about creating a sense of calm and enjoyment.
This is making me rethink my whole approach to mornings, but I'm curious, the ebook emphasizes that a successful morning often hinges on how we structure our evenings. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, it's all connected.
Yeah.
A well-designed evening routine can significantly reduce stress and set you up for a smoother, more enjoyable morning.
It's almost like prepping the night before for a big event.
Yeah.
But in this case, the event is just waking up and starting your day.
Exactly. And it's not just about the practical things, like laying out clothes or packing lunches. It's also about creating a sense of calm and winding down before bed.
So things like a relaxing skincare routine, reading a book, or spending time with loved ones.
Precisely. And perhaps most importantly, establishing a consistent bedtime and sticking to it as much as possible, even on weekends.
That can be tough, especially when there's so much pressure to cram everything into our weekends.
I know, but a regular sleep schedule helps regulate your body's natural rhythms, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up feeling refreshed.
That makes sense. And it all ties back to that sense of control and well-being that we talked about earlier, creating a sense of order in our lives, even in those small everyday routines.
Absolutely. And remember, it's not about striving for perfection. It's about making small, intentional choices that support your overall well-being.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. We've covered so much ground, from the power of ritual to the importance of flexibility and even the surprising impact of ditching our devices.
And through it all, we've seen that a well-designed morning routine is not a one-size-fits-all approach. It's about creating a personalized routine that works for you, your lifestyle, and your goals.
Exactly. It's about finding what feels good, what energizes you, and what sets you up for a more fulfilling day.
Before we wrap up, I'd love to just highlight a few key takeaways from the ebook, The Morning Ritual, that have really resonated with me.
I'm all ears.
First and foremost, start small. Don't try to do everything at once.
Choose one new habit you want to incorporate and focus on mastering it before adding anything else. Baby steps.
And be patient with yourself. It takes time to build new habits. Don't get discouraged if you slip up or miss a day. Just get back on track as soon as you can.
Consistency is key. Even if you only have a few minutes, make time for your morning ritual each day. Those small, consistent actions will add up over time.
Another important takeaway is the power of the night before. Taking a little time each evening to prepare for the next day can make a world of difference.
Absolutely. Those small acts of preparation can really reduce stress and set you up for a smoother morning.
And don't forget about the importance of sleep. A consistent bedtime and a relaxing wind-down routine are essential for feeling refreshed and energized.
So true. We can't pour from an empty cup.
And finally, remember that your morning routine should evolve as your life changes and your needs shift.
It's not set in stone.
Yeah,
Be flexible and experiment to find what works best for you at any given time.
exactly. The key is to create a morning routine that supports your well-being and sets you up for a more productive, energized, and fulfilling day.
This has been such an insightful deep dive into the world of morning rituals. I'm feeling inspired and motivated to make some positive changes in my own life. What about you?
Absolutely. I'm already brainstorming ways to tweak my own routine and incorporate some of the tips we've discussed today.
Well, I think that's a great place to leave it. It's all about taking action and experimenting to find what works best for you. So what one small step can you take tonight to set yourself up for a better morning tomorrow? Don't forget to subscribe and like the Wellbeing Podcast. Share your thoughts and let us know in the comments what topics you'd love to hear about in future episodes. Thanks for listening to the Wellbeing Podcast. Take care, stay inspired, and we'll see you next time.